Thanks for joining today's video, which is about a macro view of pain, where I'll introduce you to the concept of adaptive potential, which may help explain why so many of our chronic pain patients come back with recurring pain. Before I go on to the concept, I need to discuss the three tissue states: normal functional tissue that has normal full motion in all directions, and totally normal vascular and neural function. Dysfunctional and pathological tissue, however, have lost range of motion in one or more directions and have altered vascular or neurological function. The difference is that with the right input, dysfunctional tissue can be reverted to functional tissue, whereas pathological cannot and is there to stay. Now, coming back to the concept of adaptive potential, it means that there's a system that has a capacity to adapt to change before it exhausts its limits. And a graphic example would be this glass that represents the body and fluid that represents inflammation that comes from genetic, lifestyle causes, dietary causes. And you can see that the system still has a reasonable amount of capacity to adapt before it is exceeded and expresses itself with symptoms such as pain. Now, if we add pathology that you're born with or acquire during your life, such as fractures or tears and surgeries, you'll notice that the adaptive capacity is being reduced. And if we continue to add more dysfunction, when we rolled our ankle, fell on our shoulder, hit our head, if we keep continuing to add more and more dysfunction into this system, eventually what happens is it exhausts all of its capacity, and even the smallest little dysfunction, such as sitting too long at the computer, means that it overflows with dysfunction and expresses itself as pain. So our job as a therapist is to go on and identify and remove as much of this dysfunction as we can from the body and gradually reduce the inflammation levels and increase the adaptive potential. Now, the other thing that we can do is to give person information and advice about lifestyle changes that will reduce the inflammation in their body and give them more adaptive capacity. So that pretty much sums up a macro view of pain. And on the next video, I'd like to share with you a micro view of pain that brings it down to a tissue level.